Alrighty then, guys. I am going to take you with me on a trip to travel the world. So, I'm going back home to Australia to see my parents for Christmas, spend some time with family, as well as do an in person interview with one of my clients, Vanch, which may or may not be on the channel by now. So, if you haven't watched it, go watch that. But yeah, I'm also going to a ski trip and spending New Year's in Japan with one of my close friends. So, that'll be fun. And I want to pick up the camera and record as much of it as I possibly can. So I want to take you with me on first class for a proper type of video. The last one that I did going to London wasn't the best, so I want to try and show you guys more of the experience in the best way that I possibly can, and just take you guys with me along the way. Show you guys as much as I can of the snowboarding, the skiing, and all the rest of it. And yeah, I think I'll give you guys a tour of the new place that I'm staying in at the moment, the resort that I'm living in. And yeah, just ultimately to show you guys what's possible as per usual. This is designed for inspiration. I want this to be as least flexy as possible, although it may be coming off in that way. It's really not just to be that, as I've said a billion gazillion times, I know I sound like a broken record, but just if you can see guys who are like me, who aren't brilliant, who aren't geniuses, who aren't, amazingly intellectual, who didn't go to university, all those other type of things. If I can do it, then you can do it as well. So hopefully this is somewhat inspiring, seeing someone who you could be and living this type of reality, because it is entirely possible if you put focus effort towards a skill for a long duration time and you're committed to something, a business model, whatever it is, you just stick at it, then this is where you ultimately could be. So I'll post in the rest of the clips now, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. And yeah. All right, guys, so this will be the suite tour. So right when you walk in, the guest bedroom, or bathroom to the right. And then we've got the lounge room, which is super, super cool. Definitely an upgrade from my last place, that's for sure, right? This is where I spend most of my days working, talking to clients, coaching calls, sales calls, all that other type of good stuff. And yeah, I guess it gets the job done. But this living area is nice and spacious, and yeah, it's good to have guests over and all that other type of good stuff. Have not used this TV once, and have not used this TV once either, in case you're wondering. I do not watch anything. But this is the bedroom of the suite, which is super nice. It's a lot more spacious than my other one, which is a big upgrade. But then you've got kind of like a half walk-in wardrobe, which is cool. And then we've got the bathroom, which in my opinion is super bougie and really nice, especially compared to my last place. Big upgrade. Maybe I'll share that with you guys one day. But anyways, the biggest thing that I enjoy the most about this suite, this place, this resort that I'm living is this, which is pretty surreal. Like, you don't get this many places in Dubai, which is nature. And I'll stop talking for a second. You might be able to hear the birds chirping. So yeah, it's really nice. I like to come and spend my mornings here with a cup of coffee from the restaurant cafe downstairs. And because it's a polo resort, sometimes they play and train polo up here as well as play soccer games. So yeah, it's a pretty surreal place, but that's the tour. you. No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. No, it's okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
رقم A10. نتقدم إليكم مسافرين الكرام بخالص الاعتذار. This is crazy. This time I can actually get good footage of it, but how insane is this? Alright guys, so we're now situated on the flight and I wanted to film a bit of a segment just talking you guys through why I'm flying, where I'm flying, travel overall,
and I guess the first class experience, because I know that's probably what you guys are somewhat curious about and interested in. As well as probably give some words of inspiration as I sit down and do some reflection, which I'll explain why I've got my journal here in a second. But uh, big year, 2024. It's been a very, very big 12 months. A lot of challenges, a lot of growth, a lot of lessons, a lot of learnings. And this is the third time that I've flew first class with Emirates. The first time was from Australia, big move from Tasmania to Dubai, which was a huge, huge experience. And I can tell you that the excitedness or the luxuriousness hasn't worn off yet, and I really hope that it doesn't. Of course, like, first class is not a thing that I would do every time, but the few times I do fly throughout the year, why not? And it's a bit of a celebration for a big milestone, which you guys would have seen that I posted on the YouTube channel very recently, of talking about all the lessons I've had this year and the lessons I've had, from 18 to 23, and I'm 24 now. But yeah, I'm on my way back to Australia, going to go spend some time with family for Christmas, 2 weeks or so in Australia, and then I'm off to Japan, which I may or may not film. You guys might see a vlog, you might not, with a really, really close friend of mine for New Year's, and I'm spending Christmas in Australia. And yeah, first class experience. I'm obviously really looking forward to going back home to Dubai already. I miss Dubai because it is my new home, and I love that place, so I'm really looking forward to going back. But to be honest, I'm not too keen on going to Melbourne or Australia in general. The only reason I am going back is to see family. But yeah, first class experience, like I mentioned before, it is still exceptional and extremely cool. It's only my third time doing it, but I guess that it still hasn't worn off yet. It's a crazy experience, which I hope you one day yourself can experience it, because yeah, it's a new level of luxury. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this morning early, left the resort at 7:30 a.m. The flight took off at 10, boarded at 9:10, and the first class lounge was a great experience, because I haven't got to experience that yet, because the first time in Melbourne, the first class lounge was under construction, and then the second time my friend was really late and we almost missed the flight, so I missed out on the first class lounge the second time. So it was good to experience that in Dubai. It was just cool. A secluded area, particularly for like first class and business. Particularly like the first class lounge was really, really cool. I probably would have recorded the pancakes and the bit of steak that I had, but that was very quick. Very shortly, I boarded on the plane through the first class business security, which is crazy. It's like a single form line of like 4 people, and you're pretty much just straight on the plane from there. And the thing that was really interesting to observe in the first class lounge was that I was the youngest person there, with the exception of children, by at least 10, 15, 20 years, which is really crazy to think about, because before I go into more of the context of the first class flight and the whole experience itself, I want you guys to realize we are literally living in the best time in human history, with so much opportunity. I'm so grateful that I've been born in this period of time where we have access to the internet and we can learn a high-income skill, whether it's copywriting or high-ticket sales or digital marketing or whatever it is. We can learn something at a very young age and go leaps and bounds in comparison to what our parents had. My parents didn't have any near close to the opportunity that I have today. I'm extremely lucky and fortunate to be born during this time, and you are too if you're a lot younger watching this. There's so much possibility, there's so much opportunity, it's crazy.
I wouldn't have thought or even conceptualized that it's possible for me to be here today on this type of flight at 24. You know, basically just turned 24 a month ago. So nearly like 3 times first class at the age of 23. I didn't think that was ever possible for myself, but again, here we are. If you're a young person watching this, it's time to take advantage of the opportunity of making money online. That's exactly what got me here. I started high ticket sales 5 years ago, and now I have a business teaching people how to do the exact same thing that I did. And that's the first step, right? You've got to learn sales before everything else. You've got to learn some type of high income skill so that you can build your own business later. It's very difficult to build your own business straight off scratch. But anyways, before I go on a tangent, that's one thing I wanted to say. We live in the best time possible, and I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity. And if you're younger watching this, you should capitalize on every waking moment because, again, your parents, my parents would kill to be born during this time. We have so much opportunity and so much leverage at scale, and you know, there's, you know, the quote of like new money, people making more and more and more, like high amounts of money that wasn't before possible. And you know, really anyone can do this, right? It doesn't matter if you're from this low socioeconomic background, or you didn't have the best upbringing, or this, that, and the other thing. And I say this from a privileged position. I grew up in a very nice family, and I never had to worry about putting food on my table. I understand that. It comes from a very privileged position. But truly anybody, if they want to make money online, if they want to be successful for themselves, you have access to every opportunity possible. You have access to all of the information possible. You can get anything that you want. You have infinite amounts of access to knowledge at your fingertips. We truly live in the best time in human history, so if you don't take advantage of it, you're crazy. So that's that. What else about first class before I move on to the last bit of like inspiration that I want to share with you guys? The other crazy thing is the first time that I flew first class, it was an empty cabin, so I had a full first class carriage all to myself. This time around, when I booked it 2 weeks ago, it was somewhat booked out, but now it's pretty much a full empty cabin except for one woman on the other side of the first class cabin. So we basically have that all to ourselves, which is, again, another crazy experience. I'm going to be able to sleep in a separate cabin. So there's this cabin, and I go sleep over there. Insane. I mean, I know a lot of you guys watching this will think that's crazy too, but to me, that's just nuts. It's crazy. It's one thing to be able to sleep on a plane and have your own bed, but to sleep in a separate first-class cabin, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, very cool experience. The flight to Australia is about 13, 14 hours, so it's one of the longest flights there is, I think. I think there's obviously longer. I think there's like 18 hours, 17 hours from Australia to London or something like that. Australia is like one of the worst places to live in the world for wanting to travel around. That's why Dubai is so good, because it's so central and you can travel to different places really easily. Like to travel a couple hours to Europe and have the ability to do that because I live in Dubai is really, really cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the context of the first class. You guys will see a bunch of clips of the food and all other type of stuff in the shower. I'll try and document it a little bit better. I've now got this thing, which is helpful, but it broke the first time that I started using it, so I have to walk around pushing this memory card in, but hopefully the footage looks somewhat good. That's why I'm recording on my phone right now. So hopefully you guys will see more of this type of content moving forwards, but again, don't have high expectations that I'm going to be this super glossy marketer that has G-Wagons, all these clips. Maybe next year, we'll see. But again, for now, that's just not the type of content that I vibe with. But I know this type of content gets your guys' attention, so that's why I do it, right? I'll get your attention with the scenery, the background, the context, and the travel, and then you actually listen to what I'm saying, hopefully, because I know these things give me somewhat a bit of a credibility. I understand that. But yeah, that's pretty much the first class experience that I wanted to talk about and document and have a segment here. Before I was going to say what I was going to say, before recording this video, I was actually doing some reflection with the magical Mont Blanc journal, which if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you would know why we have this. Bit of turbulence, so I might cut here and then I'll start recording again. Alright guys, so we're back after a bit of turbulence. What I was saying was, you guys are probably familiar with the, I guess, journaling and reflecting process that I have, whether or not it's like a big moment, lessons, reflections, learnings. And I did this a lot last year, which I'm about to crack into after this video. But you guys would have seen me talk about this practice in a video that I filmed over a year ago now, which is crazy to think that was a year ago, and how much I've learned and how much I've grown since then. But I encourage you to document as much as you possibly can of your journey. I wish I did more of it. Whether it's writing in a journal or filming videos like this or just documenting. If you're on the come up right now and you're trying to make money online, you're trying to be successful with content, whatever it is, start documenting, start picking up the camera early and get used to filming content. I wish I did it a lot earlier than I did, but if there's one last final thing that I wanted to say in this segment is that very simple advice. Everything that you want in life and all the success is behind two things. One big jump to go all in, and another to be consistent and work your face off. That's really the only two things that are standing between you and where you want to go. The first part of starting is very difficult. I understand that. For most people, it's very difficult. But once you've made that leap of faith and you've jumped in and you've started learning a high ticket skill, you're trying to make money online, whatever it might be, the only thing that's going to stop you from getting from point A to point B is just consistency. That's all that it is. If you keep going, you will make it to wherever you want to go. If you see these videos that I post and they're somewhat motivational, inspirational, good, because I try to make myself as much as relatable and as real of a person as possible, because I understand I'm kind of lumped into that guru category now, and I want you guys to realize how normal of a person I am, that I'm nothing special. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. You guys know the drill. Failed science in high school, barely passed maths, never went to university, never went to college or anything like that. I'm not a brilliant academic individual, and it's just to show you that you can do what I do and get to where I am if you would like to as well. Basically, I don't know, I weirded that out a word way, but just being consistent is the hardest part of it. That's it. No matter the amount of times you get knocked down, you get punched in the face, you get bruised up, you get knocked around, just keep going. Because as much as it looks like I've been solely successful this year, I've had setbacks, I've had roadblocks, I've had problems, I've had challenges, right? I just don't publicly document them. And most people don't, right? So just realize that at every level, you're going to have different problems. And no matter how successful you get, you're always going to have different issues and roadblocks and so on and so on. But looping back to the main point, make the commitment that you're going to jump and go all in. Be consistent and keep walking to where it is that you want to go. And third and finally, again, I'm human. I'm just like you. There is no difference at all, right? Zero difference. The only difference between me and you is I made the commitment and I just continued walking. I'm going to finish this segment off by talking about a couple of clients as examples. I have, one of the biggest parts of my job as part of the RSA and helping people get into high ticket sales, it's not just the strategy, it's not just the mentorship, it's not just the community. That's a part of it. But the mindset to keep going, the motivation to keep going is such a big part of it. Some of my clients just come to me for just an ear from someone who's done what they want to do, just to tell them to keep going, that it's still possible. Because I sound like a broken record. I know, I get it. I say that high ticket sales difficult is because it is. I say that making money online is difficult. It is because it is. Because it will more than likely take you a lot longer than you actually conceptualize and think. I talk about how long the timelines are as per usual, but there's just so many clients that I've worked with over the last year that have just given up and dropped off. And the guys that haven't, the gals that haven't, crushed it, and they make heaps of money, and they do super well, and they go through the exact transformation that I have done and that I preach and teach, which is getting to 10K a month in high ticket sales. And again, just to kind of hit the nail on that point, again, the long-term consistency is what matters. I've got a client who's been at this for 8 to 10 months, and he worked really hard. He showed up to every single coaching call, and he was doing really well in terms of inputs, but he wasn't getting the outputs that he's looking for. And now recently, at the end of the year, you know who you are if you watch this. He's I think he's like at 6K USD this month already, and it's only the 15th of December, and it's December, which is the worst month for sales, by the way. And I placed him on a 8-figure offer that does $1 million a month, and he couldn't be more excited. And he's on the way to his first 10K month, and he's going to have an amazing year next year. But again, he's such an example of just what it takes, the grit, the determination, the effort. Like, that's exactly, if you're looking to work with me, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people that are going to pussyfoot around. I'm looking for people like that. Even 8 to 10 months in, he still persisted, and he still worked hard, and he still showed up. So I threw every opportunity that I had at him, and eventually won bit, and I think he's going to get to 15, 20, 25, 30K a month next year, and maybe even a case study in person in Dubai, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me, guys. Keep going, make the leap, make the jump. If you feel like you've stayed where you're at this year and you haven't progressed, what are you doing? Make the leap, make the jump. That's all I'll say. Alright guys, so here is the suite tour. So I thought I'd record it just before I forget. I'm running on very low sleep, so I will not record this if I don't do it now. I'm just about to head to the pool, but hence why I'm wearing a robe, which you'll see in a second. But this is the walk-in wardrobe that you have here, the Crown Casino. And we're obviously in Melbourne. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that already, but yeah, obviously you can see it. I've laid on the bed there for a second because I was absolutely exhausted. You can probably hear my voice, but we've got to get this content done, otherwise it will not do it. So this is the view of the place, which is awesome. And yeah, this will be the view for Venture's in-person client case interview, which I'm really looking forward to filming that tomorrow, which you guys will see that on the channel real soon. But the only other thing to show you with this place is the bathroom, which is pretty cool. We've got a bathtub with a TV in it, which is not so bad. And then we've just got the rest of the bathroom, which is pretty much it. So that is the suite tour. Nothing too crazy, but it is got a nice view for the client success interview that I'll be filming tomorrow. I thought.
That's us there.
Yeah, you reckon?
Fuck, sorry, bro.
PJ.
What do they say in Australia? Essays.
Oh my god.
Is not permitted on board.
Not bad, eh?
Guys.
All right, guys, that about concludes the trip to Japan. I just arrived back in Dubai 6:30 a.m. this morning, and I could not be happier to be back. I really enjoy Japan, but 3 weeks away from here is way too long. A lot of the guys or gals who live in Dubai will tell you, if you're in a certain season of your life, you will always want to come back to Dubai. It's great to travel to other places, but it's just home for me now, and I could not be more happier to be back home. But anyways, I wanted to film a quick little segment, just recapping the trip because I only just gave you raw videos. So I just wanted to tell you my thoughts on Japan overall and my overall experience, as well as something that I learned from snowboarding, which hopefully you find valuable. So yeah, basically Japan was awesome. I only got to spend 24 hours in Tokyo, so that's probably why you guys didn't see very much. Didn't end up recording much of it because I kind of just forgot, to be honest. We're lucky we got the footage that we did because it just kind of just pulled the camera out, when I had it, and it was particularly on my phone and not the Osmo Pocket Pro 2 because that's broken. So, anyways, we got some content. Tokyo was awesome. I only got to see it for a short while, and then I went to Niseko with my friend, who you would have seen in a couple clips. And yeah, Niseko was awesome. New Year's in Niseko was awesome. Apparently one of the best places in the world to go snowboarding, so that was great for a beginner start, which is where I was at. Never done snowboarding or any sports in my life. So it was a very humbling experience, which I'll dive into here in a second. But yeah, really enjoyed it overall. I'm looking to probably go back to Japan somewhat later this year in 2025 because I only saw a very small amount of it, and it was a very quick trip, which I'll explain why it was a quick trip a little bit later on. But just real quick, what I learned about snowboarding and how it's relevant to high ticket sales. I know Coach Connor's hat's coming on here, and I've got to give you guys a lecture somewhat. I've got to teach you guys something rather than just showing you a bunch of lifestyle content, right? That's what you're probably here for on the channel anyway. Or at least I hope you are. So when I did the snowboarding, it was super, super fun, really enjoyed it. But my first day I did 10 hours, my second day I did 5, and the third day I did 5 after that. The first day I could have gotten coaching or a teacher, but I decided not to because the guys I was with on the trip were equally as bad as me, so we were all terrible together, and they kind of showed me the ropes a little bit. But my first day, I would say without exaggeration, I probably ate shit and fell face into the snow, winded myself, fell in awkward positions at least 80 to 110 times on the first day. Very embarrassing, very bad. And I'm going to tell you how this ties to high ticket sales here in a second. Again, Would have been much faster and easier if I got a coach and a mentor in this aspect, but I just didn't because it was just kind of going with the flow of the day. But anyways, that's a side tangent. What can we learn from this? I was extremely humbled by that experience, eating shit in the snow many times, kids passing you on skis and snowboards and families just absolutely just making you look like the biggest knob in the world. And you keep on stacking, right? What we can pull from this is the same mindset that I have had that's carried me to get me to where I am today, which you guys can take a lesson from this, which is it's the same thing with high ticket sales if that's what you're trying to get into, which you most likely are because you probably watch my channel to get into high ticket sales. This is what I've learned separates people from the people who are unsuccessful and who are successful, as I said in the first class seat segment, which is that you just continue to pick yourself up and keep walking. That's it. If you can do this one thing, it separates you from everybody else. And with high ticket sales, you're going to eat shit. It's going to be hard. You're not going to make a lot of money when you first begin. But if you give it 6 months to a year of your fully focused effort, you can actually do really well for yourself and you can pursue other things 1, 2, 3 years later on down the line, just like I have, which again, I'll have a video coming out on that probably sometime this year or the next month or two if I can find a whiteboard to do like a bit of a different format video for you guys. But that's besides the point. When you start high ticket sales, when you start any skill, you are going to suck, you are going to eat shit, it's going to be embarrassing, it's going to be humbling, and that is okay, right? What separates, again, the unsuccessful and the successful is the ability to, even when they are embarrassed, even when they fail in front of others, even when they're having that self-critic in their head of like, just stop, just quit now, they just continue walking, they keep persisting. That's exactly what I did with the snowboarding. It was incredibly painful, face full of snow, ass is sore, my whole body is just absolutely aching, but I just wanted to get good at it. I was there for a limited time, so I want to make the most out of it. So that's a little lecture out of the way. I don't want to continue going on because this video will be too long. But anyways, we cut the trip short because on the first day, my friend Anton, who you would have seen in some of the clips, broke his collarbone the first day on the first slope. Super random, super unfortunate. So we decided to cut the trip short and we only ended up skiing for 3 or 4 days. Originally planned to go for 7 or 8, but we left and cut the trip early. And here I am now in Dubai. So super pumped to be back here, back home in Dubai. I think at the time of this recording, we've got around 30 case studies publicly posted or to be filmed. And I'm aiming for 60 client case studies this year. I'd be super happy with that. So going in with a game plan to help our clients the most that we can. And I'm just kind of sitting down, ready to clock in for an awesome 2025 and help more people, just like we did last year. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, comment down below, let me know. If you found it boring, let me know as well, right? I always want to improve on this type of content. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? I'll know if you've liked the video or you've commented down below. And if you did, I'll continue making more of these videos, as I've said in pretty much every single one of these videos I've done now. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.